Hi everyone, welcome along to my Game Week 14 team reveal and of course my Game Week 13 overall points. So I got my first red arrow in a couple of weeks, so I'm down about 130,000 places. It wasn't a good week for me at all, with 60 points total, and my defenders, whole back line blanking, and Mikhalenko of course getting a -1. My midfield kind of saving the day here. Palmer, I made the right choice on my last video. I did say I'm going to go with Palmer, captain. He obviously peaked Salah by 1 point. Deservedly so as well. Palmer really played well the weekend. I'm not saying Salah didn't, but Palmer carried that Chelsea team. Salah is Salah. Mbumu, being Mbumu, he's playing too far wide. And I think this will be my last week with Mbumu. I'm going to try and get a move from Mbumu to Saka, which I'll explain later on in the video. Bruno Fernandes coming in with 9. Look, after blanking last week, it's about time he gets some sort of return. So, I've a little bit of faith in Bruno. Coming up now, we have Joe Pedro, who are transferred in. Looking at his fixtures, looking at everything, he looked great, and I think he played the entire game in left back. So, getting 2 was not ideal. We move on to Kuna, who I had the vice captain armband on because I actually thought I was expecting something from him in that game. I knew Wolves would score, wasn't sure if they'd win, but I was definitely thinking that Wolves would get on the score sheet. And usually, when they do, Kuna is either he scores himself or he's on the assist. But however, this weekend it wasn't the case. So 2 points from Kuna. Enough said about that. And Isaac, can we just completely forget about this? One of my -40. Only hit that I took this season was getting Isaac in. And how I say, I don't even think I've earned the 4 points back in, I think that's like 3 weeks now I've had him. I probably just barely got my 4 points back off him. So I think it's time to say goodbye to Isaac, which I will explain now. Obviously, my whole bench blanking is fair enough. Semenyo was in fact suspended for that game. He's back now. So my transfer is locked in. I went from Isaac to Nicholas Jackson, who's in form, saving myself zero point 0.4 million. So actually in my bank, just show you now, I have 3.6 million, which is looking like I can go from Mbumu to Saka, which I'm thinking about. I will have him for next week then. So I'm going to restore, but that most likely be my transfer for next week. I am spending that Haaland money, but if anybody watched that City game, they did not look like scoring at any stage in that game. Like they are nowhere near. City are just nowhere near it. They were terrible against Liverpool, and Liverpool could have been 4 or 5 nil up in the first half. It's just that they didn't have the killer factor. Saka is killing me. He dropped another nice 18 points. A lot of people had him triple captain. That's 2 weeks in a row. I'm getting double point returns from Saka, and I don't have him. They have United next, so I don't mind missing them out for that game. But even though I'd rather have him, to be honest, I'd rather have him. But I'm just kind of committing that I'm not going to have him, and then I'll get him. I'll get him for this Fulham game. That'll be when I get him for December. Well, that's December the 8th. It's funny actually when you look at it that way, but yeah, that's next week. So I'll get him. I want to just remind everyone the game week deadline for this week is tonight, 6 p.m. GMT. So you want to have your, by the time you see this, I'm pre-recording this video on, obviously on Tuesday night. But by the time you see this video, it's going to be sorry, I'm pre-recording this video on Monday night, but by the time you see it, it's going to be Tuesday. My transfers are locked in, but the game deadline is 6 o'clock. It's not a double game week, it's a single game week, but it ends on Thursday, so it's a very short game week for it to start again on Saturday. So it's almost a double game week, just that they've taken a game week away. If in usual weeks this would be an actual double game week because 14 starts on Tuesday, ends on Thursday. full sweep of fixtures, and then a full sweep of fixtures then between Saturday and Monday night. Looking at the Wolves games, it's nice. Wolves against Everton, and then I have Wolves against West Ham, who cannot defend. Everton just left 4 in against United, who were good in fairness. That game wasn't on telly. I only got the highlights. That was all I managed to see because the game obviously wasn't on telly for whatever reason. But Everton, just when they start looking good again, they go and they ship 40 United. So that's just the way it is. So future transfers and what I'm looking at will be, if I go back to pick team, I will be getting rid of Mbumu. Not after Aston Villa. They've been poor, but I do think that they'll win this game. Um, Aston Villa, I think that they'll beat Brentford. Mbumu's not averaging very many shots. Like he was such a great asset, but he's been pushed far too wide, and he's only having, is he even getting any shots? He's just not it anymore. Even though he's still on penalties, it's just that I don't see him as a good asset. I've money tied up on him, so selling him to Saka is going to have to be the move, and it'll be a nice strong midfield with Palmer, Salah, Saka, and Fernandes, and then up front will be something. Well, it'll be exactly like this, where I'll have Joe Pedro, Kuna, Nicholas Jackson, and then I can start looking at upgrading my defenders because I'm not sure who I'll even go for. To be honest, I'll definitely have to get Areola out for probably Sells. I'll have to get someone from Forest in defence. Forest defence is really good, and I need to start like look Anana right up there for 4.9 million. So I need to start looking at these things. Um, he's 56 points, like Gabriel 60 and Virgil on 63. They are a little bit too expensive, but getting to Anana is something I could do. I'm just losing too many points. I'm blanking my defense every week, and I was really hit by anyone that had double or triple Arsenal this week, where they had either Gabriel and, well, most people had Saka, so it's probably Saka, Gabriel, and maybe Ray. So I got hit by a lot of people with double. Like if we go to the overall, you can probably guarantee. Oh, he actually didn't. He played bench boost, surely. No, he didn't. Wow, Chris Wood on the bench. Okay, well I'm actually surprised with that. I was expecting when I went to the overall that we would have at least double Arsenal, but we didn't. We double Brentford, which I wouldn't have said. Okay. Okay, not a lot of people. Well, okay, Ray Saka, there's the double. Ray only got two, but he did concede two. It's just when Arsenal get a shot, I'm gonna be conceding. Most people are gonna have Gabriel, and they're gonna be starting to treble up on those Arsenal assets now, and they're most likely going to get, you know, 6 or 7 clean sheets over the next kind of 10 or 11 games. So I'm vulnerable there. Obviously with my current spam, I need Crystal Palace, Fulham, Everton, and Wolves all to keep clean sheets before I'm going to get a full sweep here. That's very unlikely. However, Fulham and Wolves are likely to score, so I don't mind having Ant Nuri and Robinson. It's just Mikhailienko. Everton just don't look like scoring at all. So if you have him, I need clean sheets, and Everton just are not it at the moment. So I'm lost here. Henderson with Crystal Palace, he's a good keeper, but they're not keeping clean sheets either. So I need to get the sells. So that'll be probably my plan for the next couple of weeks. Like if we think about it here and we say, right, I need to get Haaland back as well. So that's the one thing that is kind of worrying at the minute, is that if Haaland starts banging them in, like he's got a nice run coming up from kind of game week 18 onwards, when he hits Everton, Leicester, West Ham. Even that Aston Villa fixture in 17, I wouldn't mind him having. It's pretty much after they play United. If he starts going on this crazy run, which we know he can do, I don't think I can get to him. Like I'm struggling to see how I get back to Haaland. Who do I like? And even if I can get to him, I can't get to him in one move. It's going to be three or four. And the problem with it is I've got so many problems in my team that I'm not going to have any free transfers for those moves. Like my transfers are clogged up now, because I'm going to sort my midfield out. Obviously, I sort my striker out this week, so Isaac's gone, Jackson's in. Then I'm looking at Mbumo out, Saka in. And then I'm going to have to start looking at, Miklienko to maybe someone from Forest and maybe getting Areola to sell. I might do Areola to sells first. But even at that, the Forest fixtures aren't great. So I know I was saying sells, but it's possibly maybe someone from Chelsea. It's just like the Chelsea keeper is not great. But their fixtures are nice. Like they've Southampton next, and they've Tottenham, and then they go on a nice clean run with Brentford, Everton, Fulham, Ipswich, and Crystal Palace. So Chelsea defender might not be a bad shout for me going that way. I'm trying to think here out loud. Like Wolves, as good as like the next four games obviously are nice. Then they've United who are kind of coming into form. So I don't think I'll go for anyone from Wolves, and I don't want to double up in defence with them anyway. The only thing is Forest from kind of 19. So Forest from 19, maybe I might be looking at them again. I kind of missed the boat from Forest, but from 19, they've Liverpool in the middle at 21, but around the Liverpool fixture, they've Everton, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton, and Fulham. So they've only one bad game in what's that, 6 games, 7 game weeks. So it's not bad. And I know Liverpool at home, it's about as bad as it can get because they probably will beat Forest and they'll probably score too. But even at that, in those game weeks, when you're looking at Forest, Fulham's games, as I discussed in an earlier video, Fulham's games are good, Chelsea's games are good, even Palace's games are good for them, but it's the teams like Aston Villa who I would have been targeting are also good. They've only got Arsenal in those in those game weeks. It's just Aston Villa haven't been impressive. So I'm thinking maybe a Chelsea defender, like Colwell maybe. To be honest, Liverpool's fixtures are good from the 29th December as well. Like when we get into that game week 19, Liverpool's fixtures, Man City's fixtures, um, even the Spurs fixtures aren't bad. Aston Villa's fixtures are great. Chelsea's fixtures are really good. So Fulham's fixtures are decent. So actually, when you get into that period, you want to be making sure, like the Forest fixtures are good as well. So I want to kind of have sales in place. That's what I'm looking at as kind of the game week 19 kind of marker. I want to make sure that I have, I've got Arsenal with decent fixtures. Like obviously they've got Fulham. Oh, sorry, they've got Tottenham and City across there, but they're the only two fixtures that I don't really like. And it is Spurs and City at home. It's just that City by that stage, it's February, and they probably have themselves sorted out. Whereas I'd rather switch those two fixtures if I was thinking about tripling up on the Arsenal and maybe getting City playing the City earlier rather than later would be better because I don't think City are going to be bad all season. Now, it could be wrong, but I just don't think that they will. Particularly when they get around, as I said, that 19 mark where they've Leicester, West Ham, Brighton, and Ipswich. They do get a couple of games there to get themselves back in the swing of things and looking good again. So I'd expect them good. Um, dare I say it, Newcastle from game week 21. Do I get Isaac again? Four nice fixtures: Wolves, Bournemouth, Southampton, and Fulham. Um, it's just going to be hard to go that way again. I think that's my third time going. Well, that will be my third time going Isaac this year, and none of them have worked out. So by that stage, I'm just not sure. I will have hoped to have moved off Kuna by that stage, and I might go back to maybe Raul from Fulham. I don't actually know who I could go to. I could go to Chris Wood. Chris Wood could probably run into form because, as I said, he probably only has one bad fixture. He does really only have one bad fixture in there, and that's the Liverpool at home. So I could probably move from Kuna to Chris Wood for those. Um, My United fixtures are not bad either. I'm not sure about Fernandez. I might go to Fernandez off him to Rashford. Rashford's looked really good the last couple of games. I didn't see him the weekend now, but he did score, and as did Fernandez. In fairness, Fernandez as well. Sorry, he got two assists. He didn't score. He got two assists, but he's playing a bit deep. He's playing a little bit too deep, and the fact that he's 8.5 million. If I was to get Rashford, which is funny, going back to a couple of weeks when I was looking at this fixture, I did say Rashford, but that kind of fear of missing out factor got me, and I just knew Fernandez was the player everybody was going to go for. And I think if I had went with Rashford, let me just see. So let's say for the last 3 weeks he has 9. Oh, okay, well he does have the 10 against Chelsea as well, so then he's got 27, 29, so 38 points in the last say 4 weeks, right? I just want to see what Rashford has in that same period, because he won't even be top, will he? No, he won't. He'll have to go to United. So Rashford across the last 4 weeks has 14, 8. Okay, he's nowhere near him. He's nowhere near him. He has an 8 and a 14, so he's done better in these 2 weeks. But I just think he's a little bit better of an option now if you have Rashford playing. As I said, he's a great asset and he's 6.9 million, so you save quite a bit. So if Rashford's playing closer to a striker, he might be the man. But we'll go back to picking team. Nicholas Jackson, I think everybody's going to be on him now because he's really in form. So I'm just expecting him to be a very, very high transferred in player this week, particularly for this fixture. As I play Fantasy Premier League, and everybody knows by now from watching my videos and stuff that I play by the fixtures. So I'm targeting Southampton, and I'm targeting if I got a run of 3 games, that's who I want to have. Obviously, it didn't work out this week with neither of my two forwards scoring, or three forwards if you like. Isaac went off injured, Kuna and Joe Pedro were gone. I thought I'd get at least one clean sheet from my four defenders, including my goalkeeper, my three defenders and keeper. I didn't get any. Again, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking Everton don't score, so I'm kind of eyeing up a clean sheet here. I'm eyeing up a clean sheet here. Possible, I doubt it's going to be a clean sheet here, but possible assist from Robinson. And maybe again a clean sheet and assist from Nori. Fulham away, it's always a difficult fixture, but I think Joe Pedro could score. So I'm eyeing up that this is going to be a better week for me. Here's a goal, and here's a goal. Then obviously I've got Palmer, Salah, and Mbeumo. I'm going to make Nicholas Jackson my vice captain for this week, just because it makes sense and I'll save my team. So that'll be my team for tomorrow. Transfer locked in. Palmer captain. Nicholas Jackson vice captain. I have Salah playing away with Newcastle, who are really under form. Just Newcastle at home are good, and I had Palmer locked in for my captain for this Aston Villa game and the Southampton game. So I'm going to stick with my plan. I don't want to. I don't want to change from my plan because if I keep to it, there's only 33 points in between. But I just think that Salah will underscore again Palmer. I just think Palmer has better opportunity to score more goals. That's the thing. They're all away fixtures, pretty much. Anybody who I would captain anyway, like it'd either be Palmer, Jackson, Salah. Dare I say it? Fernandez maybe, but I don't think I'll captain Fernandez against Arsenal. I think Arsenal are in form. They're too good. I expect them to win. Well, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, everyone. My overall rank has really decreased in a week, but if you get a chance, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.